Hello everyone, my name is Lohitha. I am 204 months young. 204 is a pretty big number. And they say that the old give the best of wisdom. And I do think I am old enough to share a little bit of wisdom with all of you. After hearing what I speak and what I say, you're all going to tell that, you haven't seen anything in life, you're only a kid, there's so much more that is yet to happen and all that. But let me tell you that at the end, you're all definitely going to relate to what I speak. So let me begin by asking you all a question. How many of you have ever taken part in a marathon? Okay. How many of you were able to reach the finish line? During the entire process of running, you would have had so many thoughts in your mind. I'm exhausted, I want to quit, I can't do this, my calf muscles hurt, and all of this. But studies have shown that 90% of the people who take part in a marathon, the participants and the runners, actually reach the finish line. Why? What is their secret behind running so much? It is because they are confident of their end result. They trust their path and the process. So what am I trying to tell you all? This brings me to my main point. All the runners and the participants in the marathon undergo a very severe process, and they believe that all the struggles that they've been through at the end are going to give them a very sweet fruit. So let me tell you all a bit of my story, the biggest transition that took place in my life. Let me take you all back to the year 2016, because that was when the biggest change occurred in my life. Moving to Coimbatore. So my father was a bank employee and he got a transfer. He had to come and work in Coimbatore. So all of us were very reluctant initially, and I just did not want to leave Bangalore. I was brought up in Bangalore, and you all know how the city is. My friends, my neighborhood society, climate, food, everything was just holding me back. But I had no option. I had to move on and move out with my parents and my sister. The initial days were pretty hard. I couldn't gel with my friends and I barely knew the Tamil language. So, you can just understand what I'm trying to tell you. The system, procedure, culture, everything was absolutely different from what is there in Karnataka. And even my curriculum was a bit higher. When I was in Bangalore, I was a state board student, and when I came to Coimbatore, I had to take up CBSE. So what happened? Life just gave me a quick reality check. It said, Lohitha, just wake up. You have to face the reality. You don't have an option. It's been 6 years since the transition took place. And now you ask me the question, is it Bangalore or Coimbatore, Lohitha? And I would say that Coimbatore is my choice. Let me tell you why. The past 6 years have hit me hard in all ways, mentally, physically, and emotionally. I have grown as a person. I got a lot of exposure in Coimbatore, like exposure as in terms of activities, competitions, contests, events, incidents, and experiences that happened over the past 6 years have molded me into the person I am today. And you can ask me, why not Bangalore? Bangalore is a much bigger city than Coimbatore. But let me tell you that Bangalore was more like home sweet home, and it was more like my comfort zone. So we all know that nothing actually grows in the comfort zone. Over time, I learned to speak the Tamil language. I can actually convey my message with a lot of confidence, but I regret to say that I cannot read and write. And I made a lot of new friends inside and outside school. Now everything is fine. Everything is set. I look back at all those times that I've struggled and over the 6 years, and I have two things to say. One is, I actually question myself. Oh my God, Lohitha, couldn't you have handled this situation a little more better? You were just so immature. You should have taken a better decision. But then, on the contrary, there are times when I look at myself and say, is this even you? Good job, girl. You've come a really long way. I started being more appreciative of my own self. So life taught me that at times, no matter what, you have to just trust your path and the process that you are going through. Whatever happens, happens for the good. If I had continued to be stubborn and if I had, stayed back in Bangalore, then learning would have continued to happen between the four walls. maybe coming to Coimbatore was actually a blessing in disguise for me. So in the entire process of learning to believe that I have to trust my journey, and generally one has to trust their path, there were two things that I learned. So the first thing was to maintain a positive approach and a positive mindset. This is something that my father constantly told me. He wanted me to face every situation with a positive mindset and an approach. The power of positive thinking has been studied and found that it has huge impacts on people's lives. What and how you think will actually and ultimately define your decisions that you take. Thinking positively also helps your brain to release the endorphin hormone. So what does this hormone basically do? It actually boosts the feelings of positivity, and over time it just helps you maintain a beneficial attitude. What more do you want? And the second thing is practicing gratitude. Once you start to be more positive and take everything in a helpful and optimistic manner, you automatically tend to be grateful, and vice versa. So practicing gratitude has been linked to having more positive thoughts and emotions, and you automatically over time tend to be more appreciative of each and every moment that you encounter in your life. And you know what the best part is? It also prevents your inner critic from coming out and spoiling your entire day and mood. Let me tell you that a part of trusting your path and the process means to trust the process of growth. Achieving goals is definitely never meant to be easy, but by being grateful and having a positive mindset and approach helps you feel a huge sense of reward. We need to learn to be happy in the present moment without rushing to meet the final goal, because over time you just realize that this is actually true and this is very essential in life. We need to be willing to be flexible, and not only this, we need to understand that life is always going to be uncertain, but we need to be certain of the fact that the end result will always be sweet. We heal and grow so much in our journey. We do not have to condemn ourselves for the situations we are put in. We don't have to actually. Just accept and move on. Don't run in the race. Give self space and show some grace with reflection. A better version is always in progress. Thank you.